difficulty.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident podcast, a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. Welcome, I'm Jen, and we are honored to have our co-host, Sambaza, host and creator of the Sambaza podcast, our partner, and he is originating from the Republic of Kenya. He has established himself as a distinguished figure in the podcasting community, and his work has been recognized with 3 nominations for Best African Diasporan Podcast by the African Podcast and Voice Awards, along with a nomination for Best Blog by the Texas Creator Awards, and has been a featured presenter at the Afros and Audio Podcast Festival, recently a speaker at the 2026 Podfest. Welcome, Sambaza.
Hey Jen, how you doing today?
Good. Welcome.
Yeah, and how are we doing? How was your week? With everything going on?
Yeah, good week. Actually had a lot of snow.
Mhm.
So shout out to everybody out there that braved the weather. That we're, back in the office, back in the grind, back in the hustle of things. And yeah, getting closer to the weekend.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. I've been okay. We got snowed in as you know,
Mm-hmm.
and but everything has been okay. We're still working from home as it is. Other than that, new things every day. Hoping that we get we're blessed. That's all I can say. We're blessed, and I'm looking forward.
Absolutely. Geeked about a great show. We have a great guest. And before we do our pre-introduction, why don't you share an affirmation with everybody?
Oh yes, the affirmation of the week is following my intuition, and my heart keeps me safe and sound.
Okay, we received that. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, so we definitely talk to keep the positive vibes with a positive affirmation to promote mental health behaviors. So thank you for everybody tuning in. Do you have us on other platforms? We'll quick little shout out on that.
Oh yeah, so we are on Clubhouse. What you call it? TikTok. Actually, I'm trying on Substack. I don't know how it's going to look. And there's also StreamYard, Facebook, and YouTube, wherever you watch these channels on. And we want to say welcome everybody to another podcast. We appreciate you for taking time because you could be doing something else, but you chose the time to spend with us, and that's very appreciative of you.
Absolutely. And the audio episode will be available very soon. And we will get into our pre introduction. So today we will spotlight a true creative, an actor, a writer, a director, originally from St. Louis, now based in Atlanta, Georgia. He returns to Woke by Accident. He has been a guest here before to share updates on his latest creative ventures, including his new book, film projects. We will also explore the 2026 creative landscape for Black artists, discussing how creators can adapt to industry shifts, maintain authenticity, and strategize for longevity in storytelling, digital media, and independent production. We definitely want to get his take on these things. Before we do our full introduction, any thoughts about our topic for today?
Well, the topic itself is going to be awesome because I think creatives are something that I am really looking forward to talking to during this year. And him being a creative, I think this one will be one for the ages to start off the year. I think he's our first guest for the year, if I'm not wrong.
No, I don't think so, but we're definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So, I was in January. I was going to say, I thought not. But anyhow, we'll get into our official introduction. So today on Walk by Accident, we're bringing a familiar voice. He's an actor, a writer, and director born right here, not over there, but over here in St. Louis and now in
Oh,
Atlanta because you're not here. So over here
all right.
from St. Louis. So, continuing to make waves in the independent film and creative scene, he joins us to talk about his latest projects, his new book, and to share insight on what it means to stay inspired, resilient, a visionary, and as a Black creative in 2026. Please welcome Sir Ervin Williams III.
Yay! Pew 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 pew. Where are my sound effects? Pew 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 pew
Jen,
pew
what happened to sound effects?
pew. How y'all doing? Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. What's going on with you?
Absolutely. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. How you guys doing today?
Good. Good to see you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's going on? What we getting into today?
Man, a lot. But before we start, we want to thank the people who just joined in. And if you're in, just let us know where, if you're listening in, you can just go ahead and type in and say you're in and where you're listening from or watching us from. We have Delray Crusoe.
Hey, that's my cousin. Tell Delray, well, shout out to Delray. That's my cousin.
Ultra Black 7591.
I'm sure that's somebody I know because their name is Ultra Black. So what's up, Ultra Black?
And we have Casey Simmons 5076.
What's up, Casey?
Okay, and then Dan Solo 6535.
I don't know who Dan Solo is, but if you the op, what's up, Dan Solo?
Oh, everybody's from St. Louis, man. All right,
That's my family. That means that's all family right there. That's what's
All
up. I appreciate
All right. Welcome in, guys. Hey.
All
She
right.
said it's the niece.
That's my baby.
Okay.
So we, as usual, man, you got a whole team from St. Louis showing up today. That's
because
awesome.
I love St. Louis and St. Louis love me. My people gonna support me.
Hey.
I don't worry about who don't support. I only worry about the people that support. So I'm very grateful and thankful that I can put out the last minute call and people can show up. So I appreciate, very appreciative of that. Was that Jeanette just came in? Yo, check out Jeanette. She is an event planner. She definitely needs to be on this platform. She is a Black event planner that's amazing at what she does. Make sure you check her out for sure.
All right.
Oh, somebody tuned in from Taiwan. Let me stop looking. I'm sorry. I put it up on my second monitor. What is going on?
All right. We got Respectable, and Hapo 77 Able.
That's my big sis right there. Happy. Let me stop shouting. Y'all keep yelling people's names. I'm gonna shout them out because that's what I do. That's what I do.
Now we're ready for the
That's fun. Welcome in, guys. Thank you for being here.
All right. Now we start with the African proverb of the day, as usual. This time it's from Cameroon. It says, It says, rain does not fall on one roof alone. I'll repeat, rain does not fall on one roof alone. Right. How do we interpret that proverb?
Are you asking me? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, you first dibs.
I know one of my favorite quotes is truth like rain, it don't care who it falls on. And that's how I feel about that proverb. It's like, just because when it rains, it pours on everybody. And just because you think it's not your issue doesn't mean it's not your issue. Just because it's not over your house doesn't mean it's not coming. So that's how I look at that proverb.
Yep.
Absolutely. There's a good comment in the chat.
And Jen?
Yeah, I agree. Just like how we were talking about that issue going on with, ICE, people might not think it affects them, but, something like that can be right at your doorstep, you know what I mean? And you may not have thought that you were, one to be concerned with that issue. So.
Right. And I think it also goes to the same thing we talk about problems, like joys, anything that is joy, laughter, pain, all that it's not to one person, it's to everybody. They all experience that. Such as you have, birth, death, initiation, becoming 18. It's not you alone who will be 18. There'll be a lot of people who will be turning 18. Jen, stop playing with the dog. That let him go. Let him go. Anyway, so let's first start off with our question, Sir Irvin. Uh, let's see here. We're going to ask you about the piece that you wrote, growing up on the north side of St. Louis as being trapped. How did that environment shape your voice as a poet?
It's shaped. First of all, let me shout out Northside St. Louis. And I'm going to shout it out to the day I die because we have so much talent on the north side of St. Louis, just unrecognized talent. Like people go out the way to put their foot on the throats of people in Northside St. Louis. And when I say you were trapped on Northside St. Louis, you know, most of our parents came from Pruitt-Ago, the Blue Myers, or wherever it was that they experimented on Black people in the city of St. Louis. And they moved them out of those projects over onto the north side and the west side. And they moved us over there thinking that, you know, they were going to plant us, they were going to destroy us. But in the mortal words of the African proverb, you know, they thought they planted us, but they didn't know that we were seeds and we grow. So shout out to Northside St. Louis. And I think when I say the word that we were trapped, our families didn't wake up and go to, you know, Fortune 500 company jobs. Our families didn't have, you know, degrees and all of this accumulated money and generational wealth. We were surviving by any means necessary, and we knew that. Our parents went to check cashing places to cash their checks. They went to the liquor store to cash their checks. They had expenses at the liquor stores and being able to go get $15 worth of bologna or put things on layaway and pay with food stamps or whatever way we were. We were surviving. So the people who made it and got a little money, they made that great migration out to North County. West County. They made that migration. But the ones that were in there in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, we understood. We grew up with the mentality, understanding. We didn't know we were poor, right? But we knew we were considered less than, because that's what the mayor at the time got on the news and said, that this was the dumping ground of the city of St. Louis. And if anybody from St. Louis, they know I'm telling the truth because they forgot about us. But little did they know, we didn't forget. And we survived.
True. True. You mentioned witnessing so much by the age of 7 in your writing. How did you navigate finding light or hope in such a difficult surrounding growing up in, you know, the urban?
I love it. They say in the urban part, in the urban area of St. Louis, Missouri. You put your news reporter voice on. I didn't. So what happened with me as a Black boy, and it happens to many Black boys who, and it's something that we don't talk about, is being born an intellectual in a family of athletes. It's being born an artist in a family of artists. It's being born with joy, right? And we understand that joy in Black boys can get you killed in our neighborhoods. Joy in Black boys can get you shot by the police in our neighborhood. So you're taught to have this exterior and this outer shell of toughness simply so you can survive in the city of St. Louis or in poverty-stricken areas. And so what happened with me, I was a grown man. I got to make it to my adulthood and still have joy in my life and still have peace in my life, even though I had to fight for it. I had family members, friends, everybody. You can be everything on Northside St. Louis, but you can't be a Black boy with joy. They will beat it out of you. You have to learn how to fight. What you smiling for? What are you soft? What's wrong with you? Something has to be wrong with you because you have joy. And I just thank God. I thank my Savior, my Creator, Jesus Christ, for letting me get to the point where I can make it to adulthood and still say I have joy. And now I found peace in that joy. And I make sure that I identified other Black boys who have joy, because you having joy is your way out of there. You know it's something on the other side.
That's awesome. I mean, you mentioned family and community. I think that's definitely reflective in your work. You know, every time you do a production, you mention, you know, include your family in your moment. So I, you know, have seen that personally with you. So I think that's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at you being a creative, how does this, like your artwork, your teaching, because you're also a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
um, being an example to the community, how does it intersect as you being a creative, reflect with who you are and back to your community?
They all go hand in hand, right?
Mhm.
To be an artist, and I tell people this all the time. Your job as an artist is to do a few things. That's one is to tell the truth about the past, put a mirror in front of the present, and project the future. There are
Mhm.
artists who wrote things 1,000 years ago. There are scriptures in the Bible 1,000 years ago that's coming to fruition now. We're seeing it now. And the thing about being an art, and I explained this before on the podcast, is that you are a storyteller. When they
Right.
came into the communities, when they raided, when they pilgrimage places in Africa, when they pilgrimage places right here in the United States where Black people were already located, when they came in and they decided that they were going to turn Moors into Negroes and Negroes into African Americans and African Americans into the N word, when they decided to do those things, they
Mhm.
came for certain people. They came for the kings and the queens, and they came for the storyteller, because the storyteller held the history of the culture. And when you are the storyteller, when you are the artist, I'm the one to say, no, Jen, you were not an enslaved person. Your mother was Queen such and such. Your father was such and such. This is where you come from. So if we kill and destroy the king, the queen, and the storyteller, we take away your history. We can put a God in front of you that you can worship because you don't know who you are. So the importance of being a storyteller, the importance of being an artist is critical. Everything you look at is art. This platform is art. This podcast is art. The computer systems you're working in is art. The streets when you walk down are art. The buildings, the design, your clothes, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, it is all art. And artists know that. We know that as artists. It's the ones that's not artists that don't know that. We know we the jester. While you're laughing at us and you're making fun of us, we know that society is the joke. We in on the joke. Society isn't.
Hmm.
Nice. Okay.
Mhm.
That's really, man, you preached. You preached. So when we talk about now, you're talking about being the storyteller. So you are currently the storyteller when we are looking at duplicity and its true form right now, as you have moved it from the poem to now the book, right?
Mhm.
Um, can I say you are the, like when we look at how stuff started off back in the day, things have been changing. To me personally, I say history repeats itself. It just
Mhm.
comes in different forms.
Mhm.
Now we're getting into situations where DEI is being taken out. People are
Mhm.
zooming in on that, and by you writing this book and telling people what life is about and what community is all about, you are now becoming the storyteller that they want to get at,
Mhm.
and are putting it out there and telling guys, hey, listen, be mindful about what's going on. This is what we're coming up against, and this is how probably we should move ourselves in these spaces.
Mhm.
Is that the true saying of the book?
Well, so the book is strictly about, and thank you for saying that, right? I appreciate that. The book is about, it's called Mr. Duplicity. And people ask me, why would you name your book Duplicity? Because duplicity means a person that's a fraud, a person that's
Mhm.
deceiving the world. And what I found out in my young life of living is that Black men, it's one of my favorite poems is about Paul Laurence Dunbar, and it's called We Wear the Mask. And Paul Laurence Dunbar say, we wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shade our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts we smile. It talk about how Black people in America, specifically, how we have to put this mask on, right? And we have to be something different for everybody. I'm something different for my wife than I am for my mother. I'm something different for my community than I am for my job. I'm something different for my children than I am for my best friend. And what happens with Black men, we get lost in this mask. We don't have an identity anymore. And we become the duplicitous one because every time we meet somebody, we have to put this mask on. And as soon as that mask falls, they don't like the person that's real. They like the mask that you're wearing. because that mask is beneficial to them. That mask is a provider. That mask is a protector. But what I ask every Black male that I come across, and I encourage them to ask themselves this question: what are you without your title? What are you if you're not your mother's son, if you're not your daughter's father, if you're not your wife's husband? Who are you innately without being attached to somebody else or what you do for them? So that's where Mr. Duplicity comes from. It's about removing that mask and authentically walking into yourself and learning that you don't have to wear that mask anymore.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to now. It's already released, Sir Ervin, or is it coming out this week?
So the pre-orders have been pre-ordering.
Okay.
That's the Kindle version. But if you like me, you like a physical book, you like a paperback, you like a hardback. The hardbacks drop January 30th. I chose that date because that is my deceased grandmother's birthday. She passed away in 1989. And this is my way of paying homage to her and having the book drop on her birthday.
Oh, how nice. That is a beautiful tribute.
Mhm.
And Sambaza, do you want to acknowledge a few more comments since our last comment?
Yeah. Wow, we've had a lot of engagement here. Let's go back to. You have much love, Irv, and that's for Chocolate Girl Wonder. E.C. Simmons says slept on. Del Rey says facts. The okay, I'm gonna say the J
The
Days.
J Days.
Yeah, the J Days one says big facts. Teach, and then we have cases saying had to hide them, had to hide the man of their homes, and Del Rey says clock that. I think you spoke to a whole lot of people, and we have someone saying rest in peace, Miss Mary Alice.
That's my grandmother.
Okay.
Awesome. That's my sister. What's up, Happy? And yes, my sister name is Happy, Happy. That's her real name.
Oh,
that's cool.
Awesome. So when you were talking about the context of the book, and what makes the book intriguing? What should we be looking out for when we are catching up to this book without going into detail? Like some of us. Let me throw in this little story. If you go to Kenya and you're buying the newspaper, what they do is they just put the front of the newspaper and now they clip it so that you can't start opening the paper and read it. So you only get the first part of the preview. So give us that.
So this is a book that's 15 years in the making. I pick it up, I put it down, I pick it up, I put it down. Some days I like it, some days I hate it. It's that kind of thing. But it was a book. It's a book of poetry intertwined with some stories from my memoir, because I am working on a memoir called SIR, and that acronym stands for Surviving is Real, because that survivor guilt is real when you are the person that was chosen to, break some generational curses that came, or generational upsets that came with your family, that also come with the target on your back that you're not prepared for. Everybody in your family knows it's you, except you. Everybody in your community knows it's you, except you. And what happens is, and I'm not going to get too spiritual on this, but what happens is some of the elders who came before us, they made, I'm not going to say covenants. They came in agreement with chaos, and it launched a whole generation of chaos. And when you, the person that's coming in with joy and peace, and you're like, we don't have to live like that anymore. We don't have to go check to check anymore. It interferes the atmosphere. It disrupts the atmosphere because chaos has become the norm in a family. And when you're interrupting the norm, peace seems boring. Togetherness feels abnormal. But you know what? I have a part in my book is say my family taught me how to fight. What they did not teach me was how to put my guards down, how to be vulnerable. And by me not being able to put my guards down and being vulnerable, it cost me some costly things in my life, specifically in relationships and in professional endeavors. Because when you're raised in poverty, you always looking at people with the side eye, because when you poverty stricken people, and I'm about to say this, and I don't care where it lands because I'm just in that space. People who grew up on the north side, St. Louis, we understood that the only time we saw the politicians, the pastors, people in leadership in our community was when they wanted to vote and or our money. We did not see them unless they wanted one of those things. They only came around every 2 or 4 years, making broken promises to our neighborhood. And what happens when you grow up in poverty, you go, I'm going to spend everything. I'm going to give everything away because I get to determine if I'm broke or not. I get to determine where my money go. You don't get to steal from me no more. You don't get to take from me. I don't get to give you my vote, and the north side of St. Louis still look like this. I don't need to give you my tithing and you afraid to come out the church to speak to people. So no, it's a perpetuating cycle. Like, let me spend everything I have so you don't take it from me because I've been taken from too much. And just breaking that cycle is something that's not only psychological, it's a spiritual journey that you have to take with yourself, because that acronym of poor is passing over opportunities repeatedly. I'm in the space right now. I'm not passing over any more opportunities. I'm going for what I know. God put too much into me to be silent. And in the immortal words of Zora Neale Hurston, scream about your pain because people will kill you and say that you enjoyed it. So this is me screaming about my pain.
In this book, you talk about freedom, ownership, survival. You just talked about survival, what it means to survive, in your neighborhood and things like that. What does liberation mean to you today?
My liberation is peace. To be at peace. People think that liberation means freedom and having the opportunity to do and be equal to other people and be equal to people in society. When you find peace, right? And peace is a journey. It's not a destination. When you find peace, things that used to move you don't move you anymore. When you find peace in yourself, you realize how much your peace interrupts other people. They can't stand that you have some peace. And now let me say this. Peace doesn't mean being passive. Peace doesn't mean taking punches from everybody. I used to tell people, I will fight you to the death about my peace. I don't say that anymore. I say I'll walk away from you about my peace. I don't need to be right. I don't need to prove anything to you. In the immortal words of Dr. Maya Angelou, what people think of you isn't any of your business. And once you relinquish that power, you have a peace about yourself that other people cannot understand. Like, I don't even have time. I don't even deal with some of the things I used to deal with. I don't have time. I have a mission to do. I have a message to give, and I'm not going to let you or the enemy interrupt the message that I'm trying to give.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, there's something that you talk about, and I want to focus on the survival. When you're trying to survive, you're going to move and pick anything that's on your way. You know how it is to be down, and you're trying to get up there. There's nothing. It's like the world is a template. It's an open template. Even though you have those guardrails on you. Do you think your book, Duplicity, talks about it in some shape or form? Or I would like to put it to you, maybe the viewers can maybe get this on your next memoir. When you're down and you're trying to climb up, you do not have any fear because you've seen the worst of the worst. What else can break you? Unless it's something new. Because like you said, like they say, you haven't been to the table yet and seen what they eat. But still, before you get to the table, you don't know anything. You are just focusing on what you need to get you up there. And the world is wide open. What can you say about that with regard to if it happens on the book or a personal life?
It does happen in the book, but it also happened in the personal life. What you just said is very pivotal. And I'm just going to use this analogy, right? So there were people who were enslaved in the Americas, right? And they were enslaved, and they heard about freedom up north, right? You had people who ran for freedom and didn't even know if it existed. They just knew whatever was there has to be better than this. So is the survival. I know that this ain't right. So whatever it is that I'm going to, no matter how I get there, or if I have to take the scenic route to get there, whenever I get there, I know it's better than this because I know this isn't right. I know my parents living check to check is not right. I know that us renting for 4 years is not right. I know that us being in chaos is not right. I know that peace doesn't exist here is not right. So whatever I have to do in the survival mode to get there, I'm going to get there. And I don't even know what their destination is. I just know it's better than this. But what I tell people about survival is that when you are in survival mode, you make all of the wrong decisions for the right reasons, right? I had to feed my child. I didn't want to steal, but if it's between my child going hungry and me stealing food, I'm going to steal food every time. If it's between my lights being turned off and my kids eating, my kids are going to eat every single time. And so that when you in survival, you make some wrong choices and some poor choices because you don't know any better, but you made a choice. It's a lot of people that don't have those survival skills that as soon as the stock market go down, they want to throw themselves out the window. As soon as they get a divorce, they want to unalive themselves. As soon as something happens, they don't know how to deal with it because they never had the gravitas of that weight put on their shoulders. But to whom much is given. And to me, much was given, so much is, I can't even think of the quote right now because I'm just rambling. But y'all get what I'm saying.
Much is taken?
No,
much is given, much is required.
Much is required.
Yes. Okay. Wow. Man, you done preached on that one for real. Mm-hmm. And I do appreciate that. Maybe Jen, did you have something to go? Because I have some questions here that I'm thinking my mind is running right now.
You go ahead. I want to pivot into the Black creative aspect, but so you can go ahead before we pivot.
So I'm gonna go with the book and what you're doing right now, because ever since I met you, we've been through the same space, and I've seen you go through the whole, out of just being an educator. You've been also educating men out there. How is it going to help when they come to read the book, right? How is it going to help them push forward in their lives? Is this book going to be an example, or they would still have to come back? I mean, we're still going to hang out with you, but will this book be one of the things that we will kind of look back and say, Sir Ervin did this, and I think this is a template of what would be expected of a man who has been struggling but has made it. And I'm not saying that you struggled, but I'm just kind of throwing it out there.
Yes. So let me be perfectly clear. This is not a self-help book. Okay. This is not, I am not a counselor. I am not a certified psychiatrist. I would not set anybody up for failure. This is my creative part. This is me being in poetry and one thing Dr. Maya Angelou said is that I have no control of how people view my work. My job as an educator, as an artist, right, is to create art and put it out there. My job as an educator is to throw as many seeds to the forest, praying that they grow. My job is not to water it. My job is not to make the tree grow. My job is to plant the seed. And when you plant the seed, some going to turn into bushes, some going to turn into trees, some never going to grow. My job is to plant the seed. So even when we talk, because you're talking about brother came along during COVID. We realized that Black men were unaliving themselves at quadruple rates than their counterparts between the ages of 12 and 56. So myself, Dr. Ervin Willis, DeMarco, and Elam, we all got together and was like, we have to do something about this. And what we found out is that Black men don't have, I'm not even going to say safe spaces. We don't have spaces where we can talk about our issues without somebody changing the subject. So if the issue on the table are Black men, that's what we're talking about. Nobody gets to come in and make this about Asian women, make this about Black women or white women or society. It's about Black men, and we stay on there from the guise and the viewpoint of Black men. We don't offer solutions. We offer suggestions. We call each other out on stuff. It's funny because when I talk to women about this, they go, y'all ain't in there doing nothing but talking about women. No, you do know, narcissist lady, that is other things to talk about amongst Black men. Like for instance, being the monster in every room that you walk in. That's a real thing. No matter where I'm at. if I'm in a room with black women, if I'm in a room with white women, if I'm in a room with white men. And what's more jarring, I said in the commercial, when you in a room with black men, you still the monster. We believe in the propaganda that was said about us, and we know it's completely untrue, but yet we still believe we the monster. Hence why we don't want to do business with each other. Hence why we don't want to be in rooms with each other. Hence why we gatekeep. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen to black women, but we know for definite black men are the monster in every room. Even those black sons that some of these black mothers have, and they look at them like the monster, or they give the exception to the rule that those black boys over there are thugs. And they'll say things like, watch that N-word over there because he gonna do A, B, C, and D. But your son is standing right here next to you. He hears you. So once again, subconsciously, he put that mask on. He become Mr. Duplicity because my mama said that the man who look like me, the man who I look up to, the men who are my role models are them niggas over there that's going to steal and rob and take from me.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the real thing.
Definitely.
Well, as we pivot, I think we have a lot of shout outs here.
Yeah.
Go through here. Chaos is a new pleasure food. That's Delray said that. And a lot of Heal and Power that Denise says, Denise, she has a Heal Power release podcast and is into mental health. She's a professional. And she says they don't have many safe spaces. She was referring to the men. Casey says here, we've been programmed to believe we are minors. It's time to turn that program off. And as Kendrick Lamar said, turn that TV off. And Blu-ray says of spoken word, I'm going to say, I think that's what the words mean. I'm so proud of you, Sir Ervin. All right, there you go.
Is that X Blue Rain? What's up, X Blue Rain? That's another dope boy. Listen, everybody that's doing something that I think y'all should have on y'all podcast, that's another person. Her, Jeanette, Happy. I don't know who else in the room. Delray. I can give y'all a list of people to have as guests because they're amazing at what they do, and they will bring some very pivotal information to your platform. So definitely highlight them as well.
Sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And shout out to the chat and everyone tuning in on the additional platforms. The audio episode will be coming soon. So we definitely appreciate you watching and listening in real time. All right. And so we did have a theme about the Black creatives for 2026. So we definitely wanted you to share a piece of advice for young creatives aspiring maybe to complete a project that they have been, hoping to achieve or something like that. Something you can share to other creatives.
I think my mantra for this year going forward, and I'm passing it to everybody, and I'm going to shout this guy, and I don't want to cry about him, but my soul weep for this young man. There's a young man named Adrian. Adrian went to the high school that I used to teach, and then he went to my alum, Harris-Stowe State University. He became very pivotal at the school. He was an actor, writer, director, producer like myself. His name is Adrian Kelly. And last year in July, he died at the age of 34. And my heart weeps for this young man because he was one of my mentees that I stayed on the phone with hours talking about our projects, talking about our movies and our books and our endeavors. And then he died with all of this inside of him. Brilliant mind. Brilliant young man.
Followed him. I know who you're talking about. That was very misfortunate. So rest in power to him.
Thank you. But what his death taught me, him and my boy Tony Picasso, who died at 36 1 week after his baby was born. What their deaths taught me, specifically because they were artists, is that don't let perfect get in the way of done. I will send that to every Black creative. We watch multitudes of people come out with film, come out with movies, come out with books, come out with all this other stuff, and we know it's horrible, but they got it completed. They completed it. So you sitting over there with your 14 perfect books that's never been published. You sitting over there with all these stories that's untold because you want to make sure it's perfect. Don't make sure it's perfect. Make sure it's done. Get it out. Go to the next project. You can always come back and edit. That's what the edit button is for. But just like Issa Rae pulled out her cell phone and filmed that first episode on the cell phone and wind up getting insecure, you can come out with your grammatically incorrect book. You can publish it and you can hire an editor later. But get it done. Get it done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely love that message for. Go ahead.
I had forgotten something. The last time you were here, it was a precursor to a play that you did. And Jen happened to come and watch it.
Yeah, she was. I love you, Jen. Thank you for always supporting. That's why if anytime you need me on this podcast, I'm here, Jen. Just make the call for real. Because I love people. And I'm going to say this about you, Jen, before we go any further. I love people who genuinely support without any expectations, without wanting anything. Jen is one of those people who will show up and support you in a real way, not a pretend, let me stay close to you just in case you do pop, you're going to remember me. No, she's a for real supporting sister. And I want to honor you in that space. Thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So the play that you had, we never got a chance to talk about it because I think this is so many years. Yeah. So this is the time when we actually can sit down and talk about the play. I know it was emotional for you. I saw the pictures and you came out and I think Jen put out some pictures out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like you to describe the story that was told and what you got out of it with the support from St. Louis.
One thing, so first of all, shout out to my cousin Porky. Shakita. I'm sorry, I ain't see you in the room, Shakita. Can't call about her nickname. That's not right. That's a professional woman right there. How you doing, Shakita? I didn't see you in the room, but love you, cuz. It was very emotional for me because I started writing this play back in 2011, literally 14 years ago before I put it up. And I had took my students on a trip at this African American History Museum where before they went to Washington, D.C., they were doing a tour around the world of African American history. And I saw these women on the wall, and they were Black women in the 1940s in the Army. Now, I consider myself very well read on Black history. And I went, who are these women? Right? And I found out these women were the 688. And they were in the Army, and they were completely washed out of history until 2009 when Barack Obama honored them. So I started writing this play, and instantly my aunt Peggy came to my head. And I wanted to write this play from this woman's perspective, telling the story about her being in World War II and how she wasn't appreciated. And it became very personal to me because my Uncle Hen, he had passed away, which is my Aunt Peggy's husband. And they were together since she was 14, and he passed away at 84. That's how long they were together, right?
Wow.
Yeah. And he passed away, and it was something that I said, I can't let my aunt live this once again, not letting perfect get in the way of done. I started this play for my aunt. I want to make sure if I don't do anything else, we get a reading up and my aunt gets to do this role. And when I tell you my aunt stole the show, we were so proud of her. But what we were really more proud of when she called me afterwards and she said, I just want to thank you, nephew, because you teach me, even though I'm older than you, and you gave me an opportunity to live for something. This woman lost her husband, her daughter, and her son-in-law, and she was the last one. So this play gave her the courage and the strength to get out of bed, to rehearse, and once again return some joy back to her of what she gave us. And I'm gonna send her this too, because we love our Aunt Peggy. Everybody in here know that we love our Aunt Peggy, and she killed it. I was so proud of her. I was so proud of her because she killed it.
That was a great moment. And at the end where you honored her and had your family members bring her flowers, that was just so touching.
She's the reason we act. Like she was one of the original members of the Black Rep when it first started. She's an original member. So she's a walking history book that didn't get the opportunity to make history books, but she gonna make history books messing with me.
Love it. Love that.
Oh yeah. Now, what is the future for that particular play? Because was it gonna is it going to be solely in St. Louis, or are we going to catch it in Dallas, or what are the plans?
So here's the deal.
Uh-huh.
I don't move unless a check is cut, dry, and in my bank account.
Oh.
Right. And what I mean by that is that sometimes I get so many people coming up to me like, we want to do this and we want to bring you here. But when you see a play, you see a play. When I see a play, I have to pay my actors, lights, sound, and I chose education. I didn't choose business, so I'm not a wealthy man. So everything that you see me put up comes out of my pocket. But my friend Lawrence just cursed me out. I'm challenging everybody in this room to keep cursing me out because he told me to make an Indiegogo and start raising money for Frida because I have all of the footage. I have everything to get it up. I want it to be a traveling show. I want it to be offenses. I want it to be whatever it's going to be. My hurdle has always been, I've been very popular. I've been very popular amongst unpopular people. And what I mean by that is my support is a for real support, but their shares stop at 1 or 2 people. I don't have the support of people who share stop at millions. It's coming, right? So it's not putting up great work. It's making sure that it gets in front of people and marketed correctly. And that has to come with a check. Oh, but it's coming. We're looking to do, I'm not going to put a month on it, but this year you will see Frida up in full totality, not just a reading. I mark my word on that. If the Lord spare me and it's in the Lord's will, it's going up.
Amen.
And like you mentioned, Indiegogo, there's so many ways to fund and, get creative with fundraising.
Applying for grants. Applying for places that, we apply for the grants. They have the money there, but some way, in some shape and form, it doesn't make it to the Black community hands. It makes it to the gatekeepers' hands. And if anybody's in St. Louis and they apply for grants to try to get productions up, you always shocked when people who get $25,000, $30,000, and then you see the projects that they putting up. So it's almost like people are purposefully skipping over good work to keep the powers that be the powers that be. And they know who they are. All of my artist friends know exactly who I'm talking about. And you go, wait a minute, you gave them $600 to put crayons on plastic bags? That's what you gave money to? So it's one of those things. It's one of those things. It's a thing. And I can't wait to be on a platform to shine lights on these things. I'm not going
to. I would say dig deeper though, because in this great internet with AI and all these different things, it's got to be a way, to.
Oh, absolutely. It's absolutely. Yeah. But sometimes you have to understand your position, and sometimes you have to understand what God is giving you. It's a way of protecting you. Sometimes you don't get things because people think once you've gotten those things that they can tell you and dictate how you control your art. And I would never be that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sambaza?
I'm floored about what's going on. Like you said, grants will be there, and I'm really wanting to see the show in its totality. And I think it's going to get there. In a way, have your students now figured you out as a superstar?
First of all, I'm not in education. I'm still an educator because I'm an educator by trade. That's my certification. But I'm not in the classroom anymore. But it is so funny because my students will Google me. They will hit me in the inbox and be like, I just saw you on this Tubi movie. I saw you on Amazon, or I just watched you on Channel 3, or whatever it is. And my babies are grown now. It's funny. And they used to stalk me. They literally would say things like, these teachers don't have no life. Mr. Wills got a life, though. He be doing stuff, but these other teachers. So I love it. I love it.
That's cool.
Okay. At least there's some teaching. There's some, from what you've taught them and what they see out of you, they're like, okay, maybe some of the things that you taught in class and they see on your shows, on your art, on your creative side, they're like, okay, there's an example to what he was teaching us. And, if it comes from books or it's in real life, here it is. And I think that's one of the great things that go on. One subject I want to touch on or want to talk about also was the picnic. I know I just brushed off of it, and the picnic that you had with the men out there. Can you give us what came out of that, and because again, that was another grand meeting of men who you brought to a park and you all shared, you broke bread and kind of had
Oh,
this.
you talking about my family? That was our family reunion. That was
That was
our
a family
family.
meeting?
That was
It
our
looked like with
family
all the
reunion.
men you got out there.
Yes,
I
He
think,
asked the men to come to the front or something like that,
yes,
right?
right.
yes, yes. So
Yeah.
what happened? First of all, shout out to my family. We had a fantastic family reunion. I had an idea. I called some of my cousins and said, "Hey, I think we should raise money and do a family reunion, do a 3-day event." We did, and not only did we do a 3-day event, we did the most amazing family reunion we've had to this day. All people had to do was show up. We did the first night, we did a meet and greet where we did a game day with the kids. We created worksheets where they had to go around and find out what elder was who, but
Oh,
get them
wow.
to talk to them and get these answers. And then we put them in a hat and picked the name, and that child won $50. And you should have saw these kids going around talking to the older people. And then we did a banquet where we honored the elders in our family, everybody who was the firstborn in that generation or the oldest in that generation of the family. We gave them plaques, we gave them sashes, we wrote about them and we honored them. But when we got to the family reunion, because when we got to that, it was pivotal that I wanted the men in my family to understand. Most men do not receive any flowers until they're dead, until they're at their funeral. And so what we did were about flowers, and we had all the women in the family give flowers to the men that they love and honor them. And to my surprise, my Aunt Peggy got me on that video crying,
Oh,
started giving me flowers, and then everybody in my family started passing me flowers. So it was a beautiful thing, because if I leave this world today or tomorrow, I know that we were able to honor my family in a way that has never been done. And it was actually the marker for our family being the Calvins 100 years. My grandmother and grandfather got married in 1925 at
wow.
14 and 15. And that was unbeknownst to us. And it was
Mm-hmm.
100 years later that we were able to do this. So I love that we were able to do that with our family.
That's
So
amazing. I mean, that's a book right there. Look at it, like that's content.
Mhm.
that's great content, and I like the fact
And
that,
Paul,
okay.
shout out to Jeanette Days, because that was our event planner. She just put in the comment, it was
Oh, she
beautiful.
did. Oh
She was our
man,
event planner. She's for hire. Hit her up.
you know,
Okay.
I'm glad I brought it up because two things have happened right now. I think at that point you had started that chat for the men, and in my mind, I thought that was what was coming out of that particular, that setup that we have as
Mhm.
men, that we kind of chat on the side. And then now you actually gave us more information about what people can do for their reunion, honor their elders and then get together and give each other flowers. I appreciate that. And your
Definitely.
Hannah, the Jadays, yeah, that was a great event. Shout outs to you. Before we go, I think we need to throw in some requests here. We got some people here who said some stuff. I just want to share a few. Um, is Mel Vanderson 7517
That's
says
my
such a
cousin. I got all family in here today. Look, they know me now. I'm gonna need to borrow $20 from everybody that's in here.
we're gonna go back to Casey. Casey Simmons said they listened and learned. That was talking about your students at that point.
Mhm.
Del Rey Cruz says Cuso says how did you give a young mind rooted trauma a better way to grow? I'll repeat that again. How do you give a young mind rooted in trauma a way better way to grow? I don't know if you can
Um,
speak to that. Great
I think
question.
great question. Feel free to ask me any questions, anybody that's in there. If I can answer it, I can answer it. But one thing that I know for sure with Black boys specifically, because I only can speak for Black boys because that's all I've ever been and it's all I've ever wanted to be. Um, for Black boys, you have to be what you want to see. You can't fool us. You can't jive us. Once again, we the born monster. We've seen the atrocities of what's to happen and what's to come. And what happens is when you have a boy that's not doing what they're supposed to, and I guess this can go for a woman, a young lady as well. But when you have a boy or a child that's not doing what they're supposed to do, first thing I tell people, shout out to The Village. That's one of our mentoring organizations in the city of St. Louis. Keenan Morrison is the founder. Dr. Ervin Willis is the partner with that. When you have Black boys who are not doing what they're supposed to do, simply put them around boys who are doing what they're supposed to do. They will adjust accordingly. Don't get that, you getting on my nerves and I can't believe you're doing this, because I tell my Black mothers, they tune it out. We learn how to tune you out at 7. We know you're going to scream, you're going to yell, and we know at the end of the day, you're going to make me a sandwich and you're going to give me $10 and you're going to make sure that my PlayStation is working. We know all of that. We tuned you out. We don't hear that anymore. But when you put a Black boy around a Black male who's positive, but also authoritative, that's going to call you out on your stuff, that's going to put you around boys that's doing what they're supposed to do, you don't have a choice. This first thing we tell the mothers that bring their sons to us, if you don't like people telling your son what to do and where to get off and on that, this is not the organization for you. We going to say it with a little bit more bass. We going to say it once. We going to say move left once. And if you don't move left once, the first time, it's going to be a problem. Not saying we're going to put our hands on you, but we're going to have a conversation on what I say go here. You can be a muck at your mama house. You won't run amok here with Black boys is trying to do what they're supposed to be doing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Jen, do you have any questions? I think I've done had enough of the preaching here, and my heart is.
I'm not trying to preach.
Man, I'm talking to my son, said everything that he needs to know, yeah, it hits home. It hits home.
It does. It does. And I guess one reflective question as we kind of round down our conversation, what would you tell your younger self, that little boy on Blair and Linton, now that you've published your book?
I would tell him to keep moving forward, even when you're broken. Just keep moving. Because in the mortal words, I can't remember who said, I heard it from Denzel Washington, but I don't think it's his quote. People, you can be moving, you can be in motion, but not moving. Right? I can be waving my hands, but still in the same place. But to be in motion, to be moving, mean I'm moving forward. I mean, you can be moving, but not be in motion. Me in motion mean to move forward. So keep moving forward no matter what they say. I actually wrote a poem about this called The Demands on Black Boys. It's in the book. If you want, I could read it or read some of it. But
yeah, we would love it.
As you're looking for it and getting there, we're gonna say a quote here by Tyra Scott, 4828. Say, the best thing I did for my son was to keep him around strong Black men. Thank you for being the one, or for being one of them. I think yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's my baby. That's my sister Tyra. Different family, but that's my family.
And
now you're trying to make me drop a thug here. Come on.
One girl says you're a preaching poet, and Tyra Scott again says that no, there was something else. No, not that. Melvin Anderson says here down at the bottom. Says, yes, I kept my son around positive Black men. So that's shout outs to, the people who chose that path, and actually to the men that were positive influence to the guys out there. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we would love Ervin to share as we prepare to close.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me 1 second, because let me go into my table of contents. I don't know if y'all can see it, but this is the book. You can't really see it.
Oh,
okay. I gotta get the hard copy.
It's going to be an art piece, so when y'all see the price on it, it's not because. Let me say this too before I read. The hard copy is a hard copy. It's an art piece. It's made to look like a picture frame sitting on your table. But unless it take off, I'm only making 100 of these. In the hard copy, it has a specific page, and the specific page says, if you have this book, thank you for purchasing it. Thank you for being a blessing. And every time you see me, when you have the hard copy, I will personally sign this book, personally sign that page, personally give you accolades on that page. It's a whole page dedicated to me signing that book every time I see you and marking it up. no matter how many people
We need the
are
link. We
around.
need the link. We need the link and how we can purchase it.
You can go to www.sirervinwilliams.com. That link
Okay.
will take you directly to Amazon to purchase it. It will come out January 30th. The hard copy and the soft copy come, and you can pre-order the Kindle version right now.
Now
Okay, cool.
I want the hard copy. That
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. And so I'm going to read this book called Demands on Black Boys. No prerequisite. It is what it is. I didn't know I was going to do a poem today, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me drink some water. I just
You had to. I mean, if you have the book there, and hey, you had
okay.
had something. There you go.
This is called Demands on Black Boys. It says, stop it. Sit up. Unloosen your wrist. Deepen your voice. Don't walk like that. Don't cry. Don't laugh. Don't trust. Don't communicate. Work hard. Womanize. Don't be gentle. Be man. Be man. Be close to man. Be strong. Be brave. Play sports. Don't laugh. Don't smile. They think you soft, boy. Man up, boy. Don't cry. Be man. Be target. Be stupid. Be thug. That's right. Drink. Smoke. Be thug. Be thug. Be ignorant. Don't think. Be man. Be close to man. Be dismissive. Be invisible. Be loud. Pump fist. Arch back. Stick out chest. Boy, be man. Boy, be man. Boy, be feminized. Boy, don't be feminine. Boy, be feminine. Boy, be close to man. Boy, be woman. Boy, leave home. Boy, don't protect. Be wanted. Be desired. Be the same. Be criminal. Be law. Be prosecutor. Be prosecuted. Be cage. Be animal. Be beast. Be men. Be men. Be close to men. Be the illusion of men. Be a man. Be careful. Bow head. Stretch your stuff. Dance. Paint your face black. Jigaboo for the camera. No. Paint your face white. Close to man. So be that. Don't dream. Don't fight. Don't think. Be man. Be man. Don't be soft. Be man. Imitate man. Look at that white man. Rape like him. Pilgrimage like him. Be like him. Be real man. Dunk that ball, boy. Run that ball, boy. You don't need a helmet. So take that test. Oh, you're special, boy. Go to the back of the class, boy. Don't raise your hand. Don't buck back. How dare you buck back? Break him. Break that buck. Destroy that boy. He only wants white women. You only want pleasure. Don't be father. Don't be love. Don't smile. You are a gangster. You are a thug. Rap music tells you you are a thug. So dance, boy. This time grin. Add watermelon and liquor. Perfect the image. Look at the monster. Look at him. Climbing skyscrapers. Stealing our pure white women. Lock doors when he walked past. Clutch purses. He's trying to take your innocence. He's trying to take your innocence. So take his innocence first. Make him an adult, a figment of the imagination. Unite their hoodies with the white hoods. Who do you think you are? He better not whistle at them, Emmett Till. He better not grab a tea and Skittles, Trayvon Martin. He better not walk through Canfield Apartments, Mike Brown. He better not play cops and robbers. You are always the robber. You are always the murderer. Don't you jog through that neighborhood, boy. Ahmaud Arbery, so choke him. Even when he screams, I can't breathe, Eric Garner. Shoot him 44 times walking down New York streets, Amadou Diallo. Even when he screams for his mama, make sure the last time he ever utters a word, George Floyd, kill him while playing with his toys in the park, Tamir Rice. Roll his body in a mat, send his mama back his lifelessness without his organs, Kendrick Johnson. He better not threaten my imagination. He better not make white women feel uncomfortable. He better not joke. He is a joke. You are just like your father, the ones who founded this country, the ones at the bottoms of the boats, the ones who were already here. You are your father. You want to be like your father. Your mama said he's ugly. Your mama said he's dumb. Worst thing to be is your father. So what's wrong with you? He ain't a man. Mama told you so. You the man of this house. Mama told you so. Therapy tells me that my mama shouldn't have told me so. So scream, black boy. Nobody's listening. And I'm going to end it there. If you want the rest of that poem, get the book.
Hey, Ashay. That was dope. Super dope.
Yeah.
Super
Thank you.
dope. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. If you want the rest of that poem, get the book. Get the book. It start on page 61. Demands on Black Boys. Yep, y'all welcome.
Wow. Yep. I have someone here on TikTok says, "Wow, that's a lot for a man. How um, mean or harsh the world have been to men." I love this poet. So you got some shout outs over there from
Oh, that's what's
TikTok.
up. Shout out to TikTok. Tell them to follow me,
Yeah.
Sir Ervin Williams. Pew, 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 pew. That's
All
my
right.
my air guns. Pew, 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 pew.
All right. So one more time, tell us when the book is going to be out.
Sound effect.
Yes.
Thank you.
So one more time, tell the people first of all where they can find you, when the book is going to be out, again where to get the book.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
that
you can find me on all platforms, social media, and my website at Sir Ervin Williams, SIRERVIN Williams. My book is at Barnes and Noble. It is also on Amazon. It is also at Books Buy, and it's a few places where you'll be able to find the book. The hard copy, though, is only exclusively sold on Amazon. And I don't know if y'all ever had to get a hardback book made, but it is not cheap. It's not cheap. I was like, I was gonna get some and be like, I'm gonna pass these out to everybody who supported me. Then I saw that ticket. I said, nah, they're gonna have to buy that because the way my bank account set up right now, that's not gonna be a feasible thing for me to do.
and it's coming out June.
It comes out January 30th, so it comes out in 2 days. So on Friday, it will be released January 30th. And I will let everybody know and to go over there and get your book. And please, and even if you don't, let me say this, even if you don't support my art or you don't believe in what I do, find a local artist to support. Art is not easy. It is not pretty. And it's not always comparable to what people want to hear or talk about. But find someone to support. If you are always saying there aren't things to do in St. Louis, then you need to start them. If you are always saying that people don't support people in St. Louis, are you supporting? Ask yourself them same questions before you put that out on anybody. Because if you are not a supporter, don't be angry when people don't show up for you. Even if you show up for people, keep showing up. Don't expect people to do what you do. Keep showing up. And you can go to my website at sirervinwilliams.com. And it'll show you where you can purchase the book. And if you scroll down, you have that up. You can scroll down. Right at the bottom is actually my short story about the book. Scroll. Who's controlling the?
Me. I don't know why it won't scroll.
Okay, if you go on there, you will see the short story that I created to promote the book as well.
Okay.
Oh, awesome. Well, I want to thank you for coming through, and I really appreciate the time you come. You give us gems. You give us a purpose for the future as men, and and everybody in general. Some people want to see the play again. They've put it on the chats, and I'm sure people run out and purchase this book. I know those 100 copies are going to be gone. Because right now, if they were
your lips to God ears,
they
might see the price and go, "Wait a minute."
I don't think so. If you want to support an artist, I think they'll be able to do that, and we are really appreciative of you taking your time to come and talk to us about it.
Absolutely.
No, I thank both of you all. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on your platform and to speak to your audience and talk to people. I really appreciate it. Like I said before, if you guys need me, just call me. I am always willing to work with people who are willing to work with me and the community, and that's a message I will leave for everybody. Start working with people who want to work with you. It's simple as that.
Okay. There we go. Well, we received that, and I'm just really happy for everything that you are doing and super proud, and I think it's amazing. So please continue.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all keep Woke by Accident going. We need this platform. Once again, the people that y'all can reach out to: Delray Cruz, Jeanette, Happy, X Blue Rain, Shakita. All of them are people that I think will be excellent for conversation, especially X Blue Rain. She got like 372 books. So definitely reach out to her. She's a phenomenal poet, and she was in Frida as well. She played Henrietta.
Okay, I think I follow her on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
Respect. Oh, Respect is in here too. I know you was in Respect. Respect is another artist. He's in Taiwan, married with children and all these other things. He don't even live in the Americas. And Casey Simmons also. All these people, if you need to know who they are, hit me up. I'll send you a list. I'll send you their pages too.
That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. We welcome. We
I wouldn't
definitely
mind
want to.
the crew for the play. If we can
Mhm.
get them on and kind of have a nice conversation about how it went,
Oh,
because I know we'll
absolutely.
be sitting, I'm pretty sure we'll just be sitting watching you guys. You guys will be talking about the show and having your own side jokes going on. You know.
Yes. I can do that. And what's funny about it, I would love to do that. We can make that happen because I had an Atlanta cast and I had a St. Louis cast. And
Mhm.
what I do, because I'm a diabolical genius as a director, I pinned them against each other and was like, you gonna let St. Louis come in and take your role? You gonna let Atlanta come in and take your role? So yeah, I would love to do that. It's a beautiful
Wow.
thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Try to
That's
make it happen.
cool.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Misinterpretation is in here. What's up, Misinterpretation? She's
Oh
another
yeah.
poet. Fantastic. Let me tell you, and I don't want to make the show go longer. I just like to shout people out because I know how many times people have been on platforms and have not shouted me out. There are people that's in this room that are fantastic artists, and I have to make sure that you guys know who they are. Like Misinterpretation is one of the dopest poets in the city of St. Louis. Jeanette Days is one of the most amazing event players. X Blue Rain is a dope poet. Respect is a dope poet. Hapo is a dope poet and herbalist and healing specialist. Like the people that support me are not just supporting me, they are amazing people. So if you can help with them with their platform or they can help you with their platform, please reach out to them because I know it's not only going to be an interesting conversation, it's going to be engaging, it's going to be a fulfilling conversation. So please reach out to them as well as Casey and everybody else out there. If I missed your name, charge my mind, not my heart. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's do our wrap up. So we appreciate you joining us. We hope that today's conversation has inspired and enlightened you guys. If you found it meaningful, please consider sharing it with friends, family, colleagues. Our collective awareness and advocacy play a crucial role in creating positive change. We invite you to stay tuned for more engaging content, and we look forward to continuing these important conversations in the future. And a few other comments. Any last words, Sir Irvin? When are you coming to St. Louis again?
I'll be back in St. Louis because I'm setting up something now to do a book signing back in St. Louis for people who purchase the book. And one of the most pivotal things somebody told me was like, did people purchase the book? Don't worry if they read it. If they read it, great. But did they purchase it? How many books do you have on your bookshelf right now that you ain't read one word of? So I will be in St. Louis setting up a book signing and actually having a conversation. I'm meeting with a professor right now because I'm trying to get some students together at a university that's actually going to perform some of these poems at the book signing
Oh, that would
and
be
actually have
cool.
a show before the book signing. So that's what I'm working on right now. I haven't got my date, but it's going to be sometime in March.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
what's up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, like, I want to be there.
I pray, yeah, please be there.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay, Sambaza.
Oh well, it was a great show. Thank you so much. And I would say, you can find me at Sambaza Podcast anywhere. I'm looking for likes, subscribes, so that I can get up there and start earning some coin. So we're reaching the 1,000 on YouTube. So that's my goal for this coming
There
year.
we go.
So, thank you, and to my Wasambazaji out there. Hey, it's been a great show, Sir Ervin Williams III. Thank you so much for being a great guest. You always bring hype, joy, and everything that comes to when you're listening to a podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Once again, thank y'all so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. Sambaza and Jen. Pew, 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 pew.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming and take care.
Peace.